Good morning, everybody. It's Dr. Bruce Guillory here with Health Source Chiropractic in Atascocita, Texas, coming to you once again on a thankful Thursday morning, and so grateful to have the opportunity to be here to speak with you guys again today, and to be able to take care of my patients, our family of patients later this afternoon. Grateful, grateful, grateful. Had a beautiful morning walk, gorgeous sunrise, great start to the day. Man, yeah, really good stuff. I was thinking today about sunrises, and I ran across something that I posted a few years back, and it said, "The secret to a great morning is to watch the sunrise with an open heart." I like that. And then my quote, my own personal quote is, "Sunrises are a daily symbol and reminder that there's hope in the world." Yeah, so how about that? So get up and watch the sunrise with an open heart and a good cup of coffee or whatever it is you like to drink in the morning. Anyhow, today, one of the reasons I focus on gratitude and thankfulness all the time, especially Thursdays, is because it's a great deterrent to something that beats up our culture pretty badly, and that is stress. There's daily stress, and then there's big time stress that occurs in seasons that we go through. And everyone goes through this kind of thing at some point in some way. Stress is a part of life. Challenges are a part of life, and that creates stress. The important thing to learn is that it's vital that we learn how to deal with the stresses that are coming. And if you're not in a stressful time in your life right now, I hate to tell you this, but hang on, because something's coming. I mean, it's just part of life. Life has problems. It just does. That's not meant to be negative. It's a real fact. So there's ways to deal with these situations that end up making you a better you. One of the ways is to really begin to look at things that occur in your life. And I read this in a book just recently that I read twice. I read it twice this year. And the book is called You Are Enough. And the number one idea that I got out of it is things that happen, we shouldn't assign them labels as good or bad. We should just say that they are what is. And if it's a challenging situation, something we would say is bad, then guess what? There's an opportunity there. Challenges, good times and bad times, come along into our lives in a way that allow us, depending on how we decide to handle it, they allow us to become the people we're supposed to be. One of the examples I like to use is this. We all would like to be stronger. And when you want to make a muscle stronger, you have to exercise it. What happens when you exercise it is you break it down, you challenge it, and you break it down. You might even slightly injure it. That's what muscle soreness is about. And but the body's response to that is to make that muscle stronger. You and I, we can't grow as people in the easy times, in the coasting times. We're going to grow as people during the more challenging times. So keep that in mind. That's one way to look at it. It does not make it more fun to go through catastrophic situations, loss of a loved one, loss of a job, sudden medical bill, or something of that nature. It doesn't make it more enjoyable than that. But those things, if we look at them the right way, we can begin to approach them from the mindset and the perspective as, this can help me end up being a better me. And that's what life is really about, is constant growth. So stress equals opportunities for growth. Keep that in mind. Some other ways to combat the effects of stress are good, solid exercise that makes you break a sweat, some type of cardio. Oh, that's really good. It just works the stress out of your body. It releases lots of feel-good hormones, and it's just going to make you feel better from the neck up. It's also good for your heart and the rest of your body. So that's important. Back to one of the things that I focus on a lot here also is getting good rest. Learning how to get good rest and developing good sleep hygiene habits, taking appropriate supplementation that helps you get that deep rest, that helps you combat challenges with stress as well. And then a biggie, one that I have really been harping on a lot lately. Once again today on my walk, I went walking for about 45 minutes. I noticed the number of people holding their devices in their hand and FaceTiming while they're walking, looking down like this, which is bad for their neck, constantly looking at their phone and scrolling as they're walking. And all I can think of is, there's two things I can think of. One is, you are missing the world. This is not the world. This thing right here that I'm talking to is not the world. What's around us is the world. And we're missing out on it when we keep our noses glued to these screens. So limiting screen time. If you're raising kids or helping raise grandkids, do some things that remove them from the screens, please. I had a great conversation with a patient of mine yesterday about how she handles her 10-year-old sons. They don't have any social media at all. And she said she's probably holding off till they're like 17 or so before they can even have social media. But other things to think about is if you've got a family is make sure all your meals, first of all, have meals together, please. Not in front of the TV, at a table, and make it a tech-free meal. Tech-free meal. Get rid of those phones and put them out of the way. The other problem is when these kids are constantly scrolling, and I've got a patient of mine who deals with counseling of young kids, and we talked about why so many kids are on medications for depression, anxiety, and this and that and the other. If you're my age, you know that we never had that kind of stuff going on when I was a kid. There's a lot of things that contribute to it. I'll mention some of them here that create stress in our kids' minds. And this is I would like to impact the next generation. So please listen to this, take it to heart, share this. Lots of things contribute to all this extra stress, depression, anxiety, blah, blah, blah. Some of it is, this is the first generation raised with the opportunity to sit on their butt all day long in school and at home and have things that entertain them, like screens. Some of this is related to the fact that this is our first generation that is raised on, and I make words up like to make a joke out of this, but caramel chapa fracamacamados. And they have that kind of stuff all the time and energy drinks all the time. This is the first generation where we're seeing kids totally raised on processed, non-real food, edible food-like substances. Ugh, okay, just bad. All of those things create challenges in the body, and those things, and this counselor agreed with me, those are things that move our younger generation into issues of anxiety and stress and depression. And we could solve that easily without drugs if we change some lifestyles, if we just change lifestyle. We've got to get back to having more social cohesion, a new phrase I have learned recently. We are so divided and we do so many things where, this is speaking to adults and young folks here, so many things that keep us separated from our friends and family and neighbors. When I share this with people, and I'm sorry I'm going a little long here, but when I share this with people that are growing up these days, they're just stunned. We had numerous people when I was growing up that could just feel free to stop by our house anytime they wanted without calling and come by and socialize. They'd sit outside and have a beer with my parents. They'd come inside if we were eating dinner and they'd eat with us. That happened all the time when I was growing up, and we don't do that kind of stuff anymore. We're so separated from everyone. We walk around the stores with those, one of the brands is called Beats, where they got headphones on, they can't hear anything around them, or they have both AirPods in. When I walk around the store, I'll have one AirPod in, but I can hear out of the other ear, and I will be listening, and I'll strike up conversations with people. You don't have to be a social butterfly and strike up conversations, but at least you could greet someone and say hi, and you can hear someone says hi to you. We do so many things that just close the walls off from the rest of the world that it creates the opposite of social cohesion. It creates walls. It creates a divide. And we're just not the culture we were 40 years ago when I was growing up. 50 years ago when I was growing up. Woo! So let me encourage you. Let's do some things. Understand that these electronics are great. I love being able to say, get me directions to wherever. I love that. But when we spend all our time, and we're raising a generation spending all their time staring at the screens and walking around on walks while you're looking at screens, my goodness, put that stupid pacifier down for a bit and experience life. That'll help reduce stress in your world too. All right, guys. I want to thank you for listening. I hope you take this to heart. It's this particular topic, especially the screens, is heavy on my heart nowadays. Please, if you're raising kids or you have influence on grandkids and other kids, please start getting this message out. We need to change this. The pessimist in me says it's going to take a whole nother generation to change it. The optimist in me says we can start making those changes now. So let's get on it. All right. Thanks, guys. Hey, listen, today's Thursday. We'll be in this afternoon, and we'll be seeing patients this afternoon from 2:30 until 6. Tomorrow's half day Friday, so make sure you call us early at 281-852-5600 to get in. And we'd love to see you this week, and take care of your loved ones. Thank you so much for all the referrals you guys have been sending us. It's blowing my mind how many referrals we're getting. I can't tell you how grateful we are for that. Thank you so much. You make my career a lot of fun. And I'm sorry for a 10-minute video. I don't normally do this. 5 to 7 minutes is my maximum. You guys have an awesome rest of your week. Be grateful today. Think about the things I talked about. Share this information with other people. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.